Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. Oh dear, we've got round 2, match 2 between EGHuk and EGIdra. This is Antigua Shipyards. Huk spawning on the left side of the map and EGIdra spawning on the right side of the map. This is a Protoss versus Zerg, and if you haven't watched Game 1, go watch Game 1. I'm giving you 3 seconds before I ruin that shit. 3, 2, 1. Game 1 went to EGIdra, who one-sidedly punished Huk for going for a third base. Huk forged fast expanded on Terminus Ray, and EGIdra, doing one of the most impressive Overlord creep highways I've ever seen, rushed to his base with mass Hydra, and Huk had nothing but Void Rays, and it was over so fast. I think that was like a 10-minute game. Not a good situation for Huk at all. So, EGIdra is known for his macro, and it's really hard to read him. By the way, Huk blocking the expansion with a pylon. Now, ooh, so EGIdra just takes the remote second. That's an interesting choice. Wow, I've never seen a Zerg player do that. I don't know. At the beginning, Huk bashed Apollo, a commentator, with the same shit. Pylon not so good now, is it? Oh my god, that was funny to me. Anyway, I love the banter between these two guys. I've gotten in the habit of skipping through the first minute of each game, so you kind of miss out on some of the banter that these two have done. But it's been pretty jokes. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. These two play each other a lot now that they are practice partners and teammates, which they would have played each other a lot anyway before, because they were pretty much rivals. Team Liquid was where Huk was at, and EGIdra, they were like respective heroes. EGIdra was EG's hero, and Huk was Liquid's hero, and they just battled it out, man. There was some fierce stuff going on between them. Now that they're on the same team, it just makes that dynamic all the more interesting. Both players always just kind of skull bash each other whenever they're talking, and it's just funny. But yeah, because they play together so much, Huk really he knows what EGIdra does. He knows how he plays, and I really think he overassumed last game. He didn't do much scouting at all. He just kind of blindly went 3 base, and if he'd done any scouting whatsoever, he would have seen what was up, and he could have defended himself. He could have simply made the call not to go for a third base and really kind of gotten his cannons earlier, gotten some ground units, but he was caught without warp tech and nothing but air against an army of Hydras, like a non-stop wave. So I'm going to open this production tab for you guys, and EGIdra sitting here with a third now, and Huk has really no way to push out of his base and do damage. He's going to wander across the map with a single Zealot, which is an interesting choice, simply because that Zealot can't even take two Lings and a Queen. So he is going to take the tower. That's what he's going to do. And a probe going over here. Not sure what the plan for that is, but I'm excited to see what goes on there. A good Overlord spotting as always from EGIdra. And it looks like Huk is kind of amassing a little bit of a Zealot army. Okay, maybe not. Just getting a sentry. So, but really early weapons won. So, is Huk going to go for some early pressure? I'd really like to see some sort of 2-base, 6-gate timing push with weapons 1, which is so standard, but really powerful. And with Huk's micro, that could do some damage to EGIdra. So, I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Tell me you're excited. Oh, you don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gateways with a 6 gateway with weapons 1. We're gonna see like an 8-minute timing push, and I'm gonna smile. 2 Zealots up front. I'm gonna see these Zerglings. They don't have speed. Huk does not have anything to worry about. Are we gonna see a lot of spine crawlers? I think when EGIdra took this third base, Huk could pretty safely assume that this natural was going to be soon to follow. Simply, even just to connect the creep between the bases faster, to make it easier to defend. That'd be pretty tricky to defend as a Zerg player without creep in between and no speed. So, it's going to be a nice moment for Huk if he can pull some really early pressure off here. Hopefully he doesn't supply block himself or anything like that. He's got to keep on top of his pylons. It's really easy for a Zerg player to make a run by on a Protoss player when they're trying something like this. As you can see, this base is very open. This gateway has not been morphed, whereas the other 5 have. This could be a big mistake from EGHuk. I don't know if that was, it can't be done on purpose. There's no reason for that. A third base going down for EGHuk, timed with the push. There are no proxy pylons here. Right here, there's finally one, but if EGIdra finds it, which he is going to find it right now, EGHuk won't be able to continue this push properly. And here we go, we have Lings working away on that pylon, which is bad news for EGHuk. He needs to get rid of those, otherwise he won't be able to resupply. And a force field going down to protect the pylon. Great force field by EGHuk. And really, he needs to keep on the pressure. So like I said, if that pylon went down, that would have been the end. I like the choice to destroy those rocks. We've got Zealots up front to tank against these roaches, trying to pull EGIdra's units down the ramp to get off some good force fields to cut that army up. That's the only way he can deal with something like this. There's just a huge army here for EGIdra. 116 supply to 85 on EGHuk's side of the field. Game. And Lings in pursuit of this army. Hopefully, I think they're trying to catch some sentry off guard and out of position. Going to work on these rocks here, and EGHuk really needs to do something about this. Once he's open on 2 fronts, he's not going to be able to defend this base very easily. A couple cannons going down for some extra fire. And, you know, EGHuk's pulling together a decent army here. 99 supply, actually getting EGIdra's army in a nice little row like this. That is some good positioning right there. That would have been a good moment for EGHuk to engage, but EGIdra knew it and wisely pulled back, taking a 4th base. Both these players playing this game much more cautious than first game. EGHuk was really greedy with his 3rd in the first game, and EGIdra was really ballsy with his early pressure, but it was pretty much a sealed deal when EGHuk took his 3rd. So I would say EGIdra played the safer, smarter game in game 1, and the win proves it. So game 2, it's up to anybody to make the first mistake. This is anyone's game to lose still. Zerg is a base ahead. EGIdra taking this gold expo. And normally that wouldn't be a big deal. Oh, nice play! We're going to see a run by from EGIdra. Lots of Lings pulling back into EGHuk's base. And there's nothing here. Warping in a cycle of Zealots. But the Lings are just going to be like, you know what? We don't give a shit. Into the main they go. The Zealots are going to have to chase them. Zealot in 1 sentry. EGHuk not pausing to worry about it. He's just going to dump his reinforcement wave into his own base and pour his army into EGIdra's base. But we are seeing 176 to EGHuk's 124. That is not a safe supply deficit, not at all, especially since part of that supply count is in EGHuk's base. It's not even in the midfield. So I'd like to see, we've got to look at the income tab for 1 sec. So it is 81 to 57. So keep in mind, a lot of EGIdra's supply is in harvesters. So the army difference is not as big as it seems. However, true to Zerg style, this army will be able to trade with EGHuk and replace itself much faster than EGHuk can replace his own. So nice force fields going down for EGHuk, trapping a good chunk of EGIdra's army, and we look like we're going to get a little bit of a surround here. EGIdra trying to get a good position on EGHuk's army, but EGHuk's force fields are going to make that extremely difficult. 1 stalker getting left behind, and let's take a moment to shed a tear for that sad soul. And you know, a Protoss unit can only die so many times. You know, there's that whole cycle where like a Zealot becomes a Dragoon and a Dragoon becomes an Immortal and all that jazz. I don't really know the cycle. You guys, somebody's going to put in their comments, well actually, Incarnum, and I'm going to be like, well fuck you, man. Fuck you. Just sit down. In fact, I don't even want you to watch my videos anymore. I'm just so tired of you, and we can't be friends. And tell your mom I don't want to see her again. But moving on, we're gonna see Colossus from EGHuk. I bet I scared like 3 people right there. They like shat all over the floor because I yelled spontaneously. And an Immortal is gonna add some nice firepower to this army mix. EGHuk is pressed a little bit. Doesn't know how to engage this really. Nice force fields, a little bit of overlapping, but EGHuk knows that EGIdra is split into 2 groups and actually playing him, gonna drag him back into his own little net. And that was beautifully played by EGHuk. He knew that the roaches were on 2 different fronts, and he played it accordingly. He baited them into 1 base, but EGIdra's like, you know what, I don't really care what you want, I'm gonna go over here. I like this place better. And I don't know, the grass is always greener on the other side. You can't have everything you want. And he's like, well, I want probes, bitch. And EGIdra gets probes. I don't know what to tell you, Huck. This is going poorly for you. You're losing economy. You're already 30 harvesters behind, but that's okay. Huck's going to blink in and do some massive army damage, but EGIdra's like, I'm really good at spamming the roach button. And he builds more roaches. Now, please don't complain about me saying that, because everybody's going to be like, it's actually really hard to play Zerg. And I know it is. It's not what I meant. It was trying to be funny. But it's okay, because Zerg players don't have a sense of humor. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I do. Quick, somebody insult the Protoss. Somebody do it. No, I've got nothing. Somebody. Okay. Somebody can do it for me. Who hates the Protoss? I'm sure there's somebody. Just put a comment in the description box, and you can fight with whoever else disagrees with you for half an hour on my YouTube video. Well, I get spammed with messages in my inbox. That's fun. But anyway, this game is going to continue between EGHuk and EGIdra. Huck really kind of struggling to expand again. He's contained into his base, as every time he kills a chunk of EGIdra's army, it just regrows. It's like fucking Stretch Armstrong, like a big ball of Play-Doh. That didn't even make sense. Probably half of you are too young to know who Stretch Armstrong is, and I don't really care anymore. Anyway, EGIdra is on. He's got a macro hatch going on here. 5 hatcheries, I count 5 hatcheries. An engagement going on here in the center. Huck using his blink, but relying on force fields to make that okay. Kind of a band-aid situation here. We've got nice upgrades by the looks of it. Yet 2-0 for Huck, and 2-1 for EGIdra. But Huck has the range advantage. He's got the force field advantage, and there's a Colossus here, which makes everything okay. When you have something that's as big as 3 buildings, you don't tend to be afraid of much. And that's what a Colossus is. And EGIdra making a good tech switch to infestors here. The fungal growth is really going to help him deal with the Blinkstalkers. Huck, I think, spotted that infestor, and it's like, you know what, never mind. I didn't mean to break your stuff. It was an accident. I'm going home. And I don't know how good EGIdra is at accepting apologies, but I have a feeling that he's building a lot of this stuff as, you know, a craving for revenge, just a little bit. I just think that that's the way this is going. We're seeing more upgrades from EGIdra, but also more upgrades from Huck. EGIdra going on the armor. He's going for the armor. Well, Huck is going for the weapons. And I think really that's just trying to get the most use out of his roaches, trying to trade as much of his army as he can at a time. Basically, kill as much shit as you can before you die. That's the job of a roach, so that your brothers have less to deal with. Because it's all inbred, right? They're all from the same fucking mother. Everybody here is just like, who's your mom? And, you know, they make a mom joke, and it's, no, your mom. And then he takes a few seconds to realize that the Overmind has tricked him into making fun of his own mother. And we got Broodlords too, which I didn't even see on the production tab. We got Dark Templar coming out for our Huck. Huck blinked forward to get under the Broodlords, and what that ended up doing was getting him caught in a fungal growth, which caused a lot of his stalkers to die to roaches, but good force fields kept the rest of the roaches from getting a surround, and helped the Colossus cut those up pretty good. There's a good Corruptor count. Why is Huck letting his units die like this? He didn't use his force fields in time and lost a lot of units for free to Huck, or to EGIdra. Oh my god, these names are going to get so confusing now that they're both EG, and it's okay, don't worry, I'll get over it. I know you were all worried for me. But yeah, DTs now, that's cool. There's no detection for EGIdra. None at all, except for, you know, fungal growth. It does that, which is cool. Don't worry about it. I'll complain about it later. And 2 DTs going this way, 2 DTs going that way. I'd like to see one of them branch off and snipe infestors. That would be fun for me. But I believe that they're going to split up and go try to do base harass. I actually kind of lost them. Forgive me if I don't catch all the shit that's going on. This is going to be pretty hard to keep track of. EGIdra's going to have to split his attention quite a bit. A DT over here, a DT over here. A very nice DT spread by Huck. Nothing over here, nothing over here. So I think a fungal growth did in fact go down over here to deny that DT. And running his line from the DT that was over here. Nope, there is an overseer out. I think EGIdra cleaned it all up. There's one DT over here. and it's going to town, but it will get cleaned up. Man, Overseers are fast. They do benefit from the Overlord upgrade, by the way. The speed upgrade that you can get for Overlords. Overseers get that boost too, if you didn't know that. And we've got a big squadron of Huk units wandering the map, just picking off what it can, and a DT cleaning up a base over here. Keeping a real close eye on the mini-map for you guys. I've been getting in trouble for that a lot, not doing that properly. And Broodlord's actually causing Huk to pull back here. I'm really not sure what Huk's options are. There's a lot of Broodlords. A lot of Broodlords, and they're supported quite handedly by the roaches on the ground. And no! Free Colossus for EGIdra! Gonna snipe that with his Broodlords and not lose anything in return. Good force fields going down, causing a lot of these roaches to die slowly or not at all, because the Broodlords are making it really difficult for Huk to shoot at anything other than Broodlings. And now finally, getting those Broodlords to back up, stop the spawn of Broodlings on the ground, allowing Huk to do a little damage to the ground army, but the roaches are just so much to deal with when Broodlings are on the ground. Pulling back, Huk's trying to save what he can. He did do a good blow to the Broodlord count. There are only 2 left, but man, Huk really took the low end of that. He got the short end of the stick, that's for sure. EGIdra is being way more cost effective now that there are Broodlords on the field. We're going to go to the unit loss tab. EGIdra is actually losing on that tab, but I think that he's killed more important stuff. I'm trying to watch the mini-map. We got 2 more DTs going over here. Gonna check out to see if there's yeah, you can see the rally point here. He's just checking around to see what's going on in Zergtown. There's Overlords here, blocking Huk from taking any more expansions. Guys, that's a big deal. Huk is almost mined out here, and sorry, gonna be mined out here as well soon. He really needs to take this Gold Expo or one of his expansions, and he can't really do it with all the creep and Zerg everywhere. It's gonna be really tricky. So it's gonna be up to Huk to, you know, pull a miracle. This is EGIdra's game to lose now. He's got Huk contained. He's got that ability to trade armies and then re-macro. He is once again maxed. And Huk trying to catch up to supply. That's all it is. And a couple of things just get vaporized. But that was simply EGIdra trying to free up supply so he can build more of that tier 3 good stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, so this Gold Expo almost mined out by EGIdra. He's not even got this saturated, but I mean, why bother? Saturate the stuff that isn't giving you bonus minerals. So this, you know, when it's not saturated, it still gives you the income of a regular base. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? But anyway, we are going to see EGIdra start to nosy on over, but there is an observer here for Huk seeing it all. The Broodlord's going to step up ahead of the rest and slowly joined by the roaches. Do we have any activity on the mini-map? I don't see anything. This observer knows what's going on, and we do see those Broodlings coming out now. We've got Archons out, which will help deal with the Broodlings, but there's really, oh my god, nice force fields from Huk, trapping the roaches where they are so that Stalkers can really start to deal with the Broodlings, Broodlords, sorry. Colossus trying to do what they can about the roaches. The roaches' upgrades are so good. 3-2, they just do so much damage to the Colossus when they get close, and the Stalkers can't get under the Broodlords just because of the sheer number of roaches everywhere. And finally, Huk gets close enough to some Broodlords. There we go. We're seeing some Stalkers get under the Broodlords. Oh my god, word salad. Yeah, I'm having trouble talking, but anyway, it's okay. I'd say EGIdra's being a little bit sloppy with his Broodlords here. Allowing Huk to just snipe them now. It seems like he doesn't even care. A little bit of an A attack going on there. He's going to rally roaches straight into Huk's natural, which is not good for Huk at all. He needs to get over there and clean that up. Huk is at 100 supply to EGIdra's almost remaxed army. And one force field going down, trying to cut that army off. A couple roaches going to turn around and actually kill those sentry. But those roaches are stuck there, and some Colossus are going to clean them up. Huk needs an expansion so bad, and once again EGIdra's just gonna waste some lings into Huk's base, trying to focus fire down some probes. Every probe that he kills at this point is making Huk's remax even slower, making this game even more one-sided in EGIdra's favor. Huk now has a nice little army, but he doesn't have the means to replace it at all. And as soon as he engages here, look at the fungal growth. Oh my god, I can't even believe EGIdra was paying attention well enough to do that. EGHuk trying to get, you know, a surprise blink in to kill some Broodlords and Infestors, but, you know, he can't catch EGIdra off guard. That fungal growth went down just like instantly, catching those stalkers, and they couldn't go anywhere. That was game. EGHuk now is in a terrible position. I'm not sure how he's going to pull himself out of this. In fact, I would say that this game has already gone to EGIdra. We'll see how this goes. 1 DT in the mix here for EGHuk, but no, that's a Broodlord. I was going to say there's an Overseer. Oh, do we have a Spore? Where's the detection here? I don't see any detection. Maybe a fungal growth went down. I think that's what happened there. But anyway, EGHuk going to kind of wander around. Oh, EGHuk just gives the game to EGIdra. But EGIdra earned this win, guys. This game goes to EGIdra. That means it's 2-zip. So EGIdra just took EGHuk in a best of 3. I hope you guys enjoyed these games. I'm Mr. Sen and Carnum. You're watching StarCraft Inc. I'll see you guys next time.